Morning. Council, we need a record for this. Okay.
We just need a date.
All right. Well, formalities. Good morning, Ms. Douglas. Good morning, Mr. Gallegos and Mr. Main. So let's get to the calendar. Are we looking?
Let's look at early May. Would that work for you?
Us for 2 months. I'm in court like.
think there's also an ADA component that factors in. What, how long do we need? An afternoon or a morning? Or- Okay, okay. Well, we currently are free and clear May 2nd, which is a Thursday.
May 2nd.
And you're without me for the next week and a half after that. So we're looking at May 2nd and 3rd.
We could do May 1st as well in the afternoon if May 1st was.
Yes, we have the afternoon of May 1st. Does that work?
Okay.
Or we could do the week after, whichever day. Oh, yeah, we don't have a judge.
Right.
What days are you gonna be gone, Your Honor?
Starting the 8th and through that next week. So May 1st works for the court. If it works for you, Mr. Gallegos.
Yep, it does.
May 1st at 1 p.m. 30. I'll give you the afternoon
Block off the afternoon.
for a preliminary hearing. Does that work for all parties? All right, anything further on this matter today?
Not that I'm aware of. Do you waive your signature on a journal?
Very well, if nothing further, we are adjourned until preliminary hearing, May 1st, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Thank you for your appearances.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep, you have a blessed day. Safe drive back. May 1st.
All right, are we ready to be in our docket, Mr. Gallegos?
It's Your Honor.
All right, good morning. This is Kearny County District Court. First and second appearance docket for February 27, 2024. Person, would you come forward? I'm going to go over what everyone needs to hear, and I'll go over relatively slowly. Ms. Chavez, does anyone need an interpreter? Anyone else? Okay, anyone needing an interpreter, please sit next to Ms. Chavez. All right. I'll get to your individual case first. I'm going to go over the rights as I explained earlier. This applies to each and every person making a first appearance today. Ready, Ms. Chavez? All right. You have the right to a formal reading of each of the charges against you, as well as a reading of the potential consequences in the event of conviction. You have the right to a speedy and public trial. You are innocent until the state has proven your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You do not have to prove your innocence. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at every stage of the proceeding. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court may appoint one for you. If you waive your right to an attorney, you may reassert it at any time. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses of the state. You may also present witnesses of your own and compel their attendance if necessary. You have the right to remain silent with the power to decline or refuse to make any verbal or written statement to the prosecution. You have the right to testify, but only if you choose to do so. I will now read special considerations for non-citizens. This may or may not apply to your situation. I read it to everyone as a blanket statement in case it applies. Conviction of a crime can adversely affect the immigration status of any individual who is not an American citizen. This applies to all convictions, including most traffic offenses. Receiving a diversion can constitute a conviction for immigration purposes. Adverse effects to your immigration status may be significant. These include the potential revocation of your immigration status and/or the ordering of your deportation. Because of the potentially severe consequences resulting from a conviction, you are entitled to an opportunity to discuss the potential impacts of a conviction with an immigration attorney. Wishing to discuss the potential consequences of a conviction with an immigration attorney does not constitute an exercise of your right to counsel. You are not entitled to the appointment of an attorney solely to address potential immigration issues. When I call each case individually, I will ask everyone if they heard and understand these rights. I will now begin to call each case individually. Good morning. This is Kearny County District Court Case 2024 TR 23, title State of Kansas versus Emerson Hansen. You are Emerson Hansen. Very well. Mr. Gallegos is here personally on behalf of the state. You're here today as the result of a a 2-count complaint issued by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office. I'll go over those charges and potential penalties. First, Ms. Hansen, were you present when I read the statement of rights to and of criminal defendants? That include criminal and traffic defendants. Did you hear and understand each of those rights? Is there any one that we need to go over again, or do you fully understand your rights? Thank you. You are charged with 2 counts, the first being an expired registration in violation of Kansas Statute 8-142. That is an unclassified non-person misdemeanor. A person convicted of an unclassified non-person misdemeanor could receive a 30-day jail sentence in the Kearny County Jail and a fine of up to $500. I say could and up to because those are the maximum potential penalties. That is not indicative of what a person might receive. That is based more on prior history. Do you understand? Your second offense is an expired driver's license or no valid driver's license in violation of Kansas Statute 8-235. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. A person convicted of a Class B misdemeanor could receive a jail sentence of up to 6 months in the Kearny County Jail and a fine of not more than $1,000. Again, those are the maximum potential penalties. There are other factors that might be taken into consideration as to an individual's potential penalties upon conviction. Do you understand each of the charges against you? Do you understand the potential penalties? As a result of these charges, you have rights regarding representation or an attorney. The first is you can tell the court you want to hire an attorney of your choosing. If that's what you want to do, the court will set this for a future date to give you time to get those arrangements made. Your second option, if you wish to have an attorney but don't feel like you can afford one, you may ask the court for court-appointed counsel. In order to qualify, you must meet certain financial requirements and you must fill out an application and financial affidavit regarding your finances. If you are awarded a court-appointed attorney and you are later convicted of anything rising out of this case, you may be required to reimburse some or all of your attorney's fees. Do you understand that? Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing. Waiving your right to an attorney for today and future hearings gives you and Mr. Gallegos the opportunity to discuss your case to see if you can come to some resolution. If you choose to waive your right to an attorney for this hearing or for this matter, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you want an attorney at a future date. Do you understand that? So regarding counsel, how do you wish to proceed today, Ms. Emerson? All right. Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney? Is anyone promising you anything in exchange for waiving your right to an attorney? Another question, are you under the influence of any medication, stressors, or anything else that would make you unable to make good decisions today? Then the court will find that you have knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to an attorney. And I will remind you, you have the right to change your mind and request an attorney at a future date. Do you understand? Thank you. Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire?
Yes,
Double check our docket.
License now.
Very well. So would this be a case management? Very well. Ms. Hanson, you heard what the county attorney told the court. Do you agree with that? All right, then the court will schedule this for a case management hearing, April 30th at 9:30 a.m. And as Mr. Gallegos told the court, you may have some resolution prior to that date. If you do, you may not need to appear, but I will caution you, it's your responsibility to know if this case is resolved. If it's not, or even if you're not sure, you should probably appear on that date so that you don't incur a failure to appear. Do you understand? Do you have any questions about anything? Mr. Gallegos, do you have anything further? All right, we are adjourned as of this matter until a case management hearing on April 30th at 9:30 a.m. Thank you for your appearances. Bar, thank you. Okay, thank you. Grievous Dominguez Tobias, would you step forward, please? One moment while I get my recording. Good morning, sir. You are Grievous Dominguez Tobias, is that correct? Very well. Were you present when I went over the rights to and of criminal and traffic defendants? Did you hear and understand each of them as I've read them? Are there any that you have a question over? Very well. You are here on a 2-count complaint filed in Kearny County District Court. The first alleges no driver's license in violation of Kansas Statute 8-235. A Class B non-person misdemeanor. A person convicted of a Class B non-person misdemeanor could be ordered to serve up to 6 months in the Kearny County Jail. And could pay a fine of up to $1,000. Those are the maximums allowed and not necessarily what would be sentenced. Your second charge is speeding in violation of KSA 8-1558. That is an infraction in the state of Kansas. A person convicted of a traffic infraction might have to pay a fine and court costs. I want to clarify, a person convicted is required to pay a fine and court costs. Do you understand each of the charges against you? Do you understand each of the penalties of each charge if convicted? You have options regarding counsel today. If you wish to hire an attorney, the court will give you time to do so. If you wish to have an attorney but can't afford one, you may request a court-appointed attorney. In order to qualify for a court-appointed attorney, you must fill out an application and financial affidavit. Must meet certain financial requirements to qualify for court-appointed attorney. If you have a court-appointed attorney and are convicted of anything regarding this case, you may have to pay some or all of your attorney's fees back. You also have the option to waive your right to counsel for today. This gives you the opportunity to speak directly with the prosecutor, Mr. Gallegos. This allows you to try to come to a resolution on your own. If you waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing, you always have the right to change your mind and request a lawyer in the future. Do you understand your options to counsel? Very well. How do you wish to proceed today regarding counsel? Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney? Is anyone promising you anything in return for waiving your right to an attorney? Are you under the influence of any prescription medication, any drugs or stressors that would make you unable to make good decisions today?
No.
Very well. Then the court will find that you have knowingly and voluntarily waived your rights to an attorney. Court will remind you, if you change your mind, you always have the right to request an attorney. Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire? The court will go off the record to allow you to speak with defendant Mr. Gallegos. Yes. Back on the record in 2024 TR 26.
Also be pleading guilty to count.
All right, sir, did you hear the uh did you hear the agreement the county attorney outlined for the court? Is that what you agreed to? Is anyone forcing you to enter into this agreement? Do you think it's beneficial to you to enter into this agreement today? Very well. Then as to count one, no driver's license, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And as to count two, speeding 80 and a 65, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Gallegos.
if the state were to proceed to trial, that we would show that on January 27th, 2024 at approximately 22:45 the day, Mr. Grievous Dominguez Tobias was traveling at a high rate of speed of 80 on a 65 on US 50, mile marker post 38. And that upon approach of the vehicle and contact with Mr. Tobias, Mr. Tobias did not have a valid driver's license, and this occurred in Kearny County, Kansas, Your Honor.
Very well. Then the court accepts factual basis by the county attorney. Dominguez, the court finds you guilty of both counts. And the court will sentence you as follows. Count one, no driver's license. You will be ordered 60 days in the Kearny County Jail, suspended. Suspended means you do not have to serve any jail time if you complete the remainder of the agreement. The remainder of the agreement is you pay a $300 fine. That is for no driver's license. You will pay a $75 fine for speeding. And $108 for court costs. As part of the agreement, you will have no new law violations for the next 120 days. And you will pay all fines and court costs within 120 days. Do you understand the sentence as the court has advised? Very well. As a result of this, these convictions and sentence, you have rights to appeal. If you wish to appeal, you must file a written appeal with the Kearny County Clerk's office. For clarification, that's the district court clerk's office. That appeal must be received by the district court clerk's office within 14 days. If you do not file a written appeal within 14 days, you waived your right to appeal. You may also seek an expungement of these convictions at a future date. Expungement is a court process that removes these convictions from your record for civil purposes. Requirements for expungement vary depending on the type of offense being expunged. Information on expungements may be found at the Kansas Judicial Council website. You understand your rights to appeal and expunge? Very well. Any questions regarding your sentence or your rights? Mr. Gagos, do you have anything further? Nothing further. We are adjourned. Thank you for your appearance. You are free to go, sir. Thank you. Let me know when you're ready for the next case, Mr. Gagos. Gerardo Lopez Oviedo, would you step forward? That's the next one we'll hear, Mr. Gagos. You need an interpreter, sir? Okay, thank you. Let me get your case typed in. All right. Sir, you are Gerardo Lopez Oviedo, is that correct? You were present when I advised everyone of their rights to and of criminal defendants, were you not? Did you understand each of the rights as I read them? Are there any that I need to go over with you? All right. The first case I have for you is Kearny County District Court case 2024 TR 27. That is a 2-count complaint filed by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office. Count 1 is illegal or expired registration in violation of Kansas Statute 8-142. That is an unclassified misdemeanor in the state of Kansas. A person who is convicted of an unclassified misdemeanor may be sentenced to a jail sentence of up to 30 days in the Kearny County Jail and may be ordered to pay a fine of up to $500. I say maybe, those are the maximum allowable. The actual fine and or jail sentence, if any, is usually calculated based on a prior history. You understand that that's the maximum? The second count I have for you is no proof of liability insurance in violation of Kansas statute 40-3104. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. A person convicted of a Class B non-person misdemeanor may be required to serve up to 6 months in the Kearny County Jail with a possible fine of up to $1,000. No proof of insurance does carry a minimum fine. I believe it's $300. So a person convicted could expect a minimum fine and a possible maximum of up to the 2 I told you. Do you understand, sir? I want to check something right quick. Is that the only case you have pending, sir? Just the one citation? All right. Well, you've been here for a few minutes and you've heard me go over rights to and of attorneys. I'll go over them quickly with you. You have the right to hire an attorney if you choose. I'll give you time to do so if that's what you tell the court you want to do. You have the right to request court-appointed attorney. There's a process that you must go through, including filling out an application and financial affidavit. You have to meet certain financial requirements to qualify for court-appointed counsel. And if you are convicted of anything rising out of this, you could be required, and I stress the could be required, to pay some or all of your attorney costs. You also have the right to waive your right to an attorney for this matter. What that does is gives Mr. Gallegos the opportunity to discuss your case with you and to see if you can come to some resolution on your own. If you waive your right to an attorney, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you want an attorney at a future date. Do you understand? Do you have any questions regarding your rights to an attorney? How do you wish to proceed today, sir? Is anyone forcing you to waive your right? Is anyone threatening you to waive your right? And are you under the influence of any stressors, drugs, or alcohol that would make you unable to make good decisions? Very well. The court finds you have knowingly, voluntarily waived your right to an attorney, and I will remind you, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you want an attorney at a future time. Do you understand? Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire? Thank you. When we are off the record, while you confer. You may.
Connor? Have an agreement?
Very well. We're back on the record in case 2024 TR 27, and you have an agreement, Mr. Gallegos?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is going to be pleading guilty to no proof of insurance, that's count 2. State will dismiss count 1. With that, there's a 30-day jail sentence suspended on 120 days no law violation. $300 fine and $108 court cost, Your Honor.
Very well. Lopez, did you hear the agreement outlined by Mr. Gallegos? Is that what you agreed to? You wish to go ahead with this agreement? Is anyone forcing you to do so? Do you think it's in your best interest to go forward with this to get this done? Very well. Then as to count 2, no proof of liability insurance, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Very well. Did you in fact operate a motor vehicle on or about the 26th of January without insurance? Did that occur in Kearny County, Kansas? Very well. The court will find factual basis, find you guilty of count 2, no proof of insurance. And Mr. Gallegos, the state will dismiss count 1, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Lopez, I've already asked you questions regarding your ability to make good decisions today, so I won't ask you again. We'll move straight to sentencing. Is that okay? All right. Per the agreement, the court will sentence you to 30 days in the Kearny County Jail, suspended. Suspended means you don't have to serve that time if you complete the remainder of the agreement. The remainder of the agreement is you will pay a $300 fine for count 2, no proof of insurance, $108 court costs. You will have no new law violations for 120 days, and you will pay all fines and costs within 120 days. You understand that, sir? As a result of this conviction, you have the right to appeal. If you wish to appeal, you must do so in writing by filing an appeal, written appeal with the Kearny County District Court Clerk's Office within 14 days. If you do not file an appeal within 14 days, you've waived your right to appeal. Do you understand? Finally, you have the right to seek an expungement of this conviction at a future date. An expungement is a court process that removes this conviction from your record, which could be beneficial to you. It's a civil act removal. And so in order to, there are different requirements for expungement. Depending on the type of offense being expunged, you may find information on expungements at the Kansas Judicial Council website. Do you understand, sir? Do you have any questions regarding this sentence, appeal, or expungement? Very well. Mr. Gallegos, do you have anything further?
No, Your Honor.
We are adjourned as to this matter. Thank you for your appearances, and you're free to go, sir. Thank you. Chavez, would you bring that gentleman that's been here for a little bit that speaks Spanish forward with you? Yes. What's your name, sir?
Maxine.
Name, okay. This is Kearny County District Court Case 2024 TR21. State of Kansas versus Renee Madsen. I'm loading your file. Sir, you are here on a 2-count complaint filed by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office. Count 1 is failure to report an accident. In violation of Kansas Statute 8-1602. A Class C non-person misdemeanor. A person convicted of a Class C misdemeanor could be sentenced to up to 6 months in the, 30 days in the Kearny County Jail. And could be ordered to pay a fine of not more than $500. The second count is no driver's license. In violation of Kansas Statute 8-235. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. A person convicted of a Class B misdemeanor could be sentenced to up to 6 months in the Kearny County Jail. And a fine of not more than $1,000. Those are the maximum penalties that could be assessed for each charge. They are not necessarily the actual penalties that would be assessed. You understand? Sir, you were present when I went over rights to and of criminal and traffic defendants. Is that correct? Did you understand each of your rights as I read them? Do you have any questions about any of them? For today's hearing, you have rights to be represented. You may hire an attorney of your choosing. If you wish to hire your own attorney, I will give you time to do so. You may request court-appointed counsel. To qualify, you must fill out an application and financial affidavit. You must meet certain financial requirements to be eligible for court-appointed. Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing. This gives Mr. Gallegos the opportunity to discuss your case directly with you. This allows you to possibly come to a resolution on your own without using an attorney. If you waive your right to an attorney, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you want an attorney at a future time. How do you wish to proceed today? Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney? Is anyone promising you anything in exchange for waiving your right to an attorney? All right. And finally, are you under the influence of any prescription medication, drugs, alcohol, or stressors that would make you unable to make good decisions today? Very well. Court finds you have knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to an attorney. I will remind you, if you change your mind, let the court know that you want an attorney at a future time, if you change your mind. Very well. Do you wish to inquire, Mr. Gallegos? All right, we are off the record.
Get another court date just because I'm looking at the offense report and it doesn't indicate how much restitution would be.
Okay.
So I need to get that and verify that.
All right. Well, I'll let you speak with the defendant and then we'll figure out a date. Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
we are gonna need another date.
Back on the record in 2024 TR21. I've been looking at our future Tuesday dockets. I do have some time, March 26th, 2024. Is that too soon?
No, I think we can make that work, Your Honor. We did
Okay.
have, or the ward trial is no longer.
No, it's resolved. I'm showing a free and clear docket. I have 4 at 9 a.m., 1 at 9:30.
Have none on mine so far.
Okay.
So
9 a.m. Madsen, I've set your next appearance or second appearance for March 26th, 2024. At 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 a.m. And we will continue this matter until that date. Then Mr. Gallegos will have additional information for the two of you to discuss your case. Do you need to write that date down, sir? March 26th, 2024. There are pins behind you disguised as flowers. Okay. Do you have any questions about your future date, Mr. Madsen? Anything further, Mr. Gallegos?
Um, no, Your Honor, I just need his phone number in case I need to get in touch with him.
Very well. Nothing further. We are adjourned as of this matter. Further, Mr. Gallegos?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you for your appearance. See you March 26th. Thank you. Front row. On the front row, who of you is here for it? Are both of you here for an appearance or just one? And which one is it? Yes, please. And then, are you here for an appearance? What is your name? Shelby, okay, I'll get you next. And what is your name?
Nicolás Carranza.
Very well. 1 second to catch up here.
I don't have her on my system, Your Honor.
I will get, adding her to my. One second here. Twenty 2023 TR 300,019.
You'll give us a sec, Your Honor. We gotta find it and put it into our system. Or if you wanna, if you have it,
Yeah.
you can start. Here, whenever you advised of the rights.
I'll find out here in a moment. Very well.
Interpreter. On January 30th.
Okay. Very well. You are Baranya Nicholas Carranza. Good morning. This is Kearny County District Court Case 2023 TR 300,019. Were you here today when I read the rights to and of criminal and traffic defendants? Missed that? Okay. Do you have your sheet, Miss? I'll get you one here. All right. Are you ready, Ms. Chavez? All right, you have the right to a formal reading of each of the charges against you, as well as a reading of the potential consequences in the event of conviction. You have the right to a speedy and public trial. You are innocent until the state has proven your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You do not have to prove your innocence. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at every stage of the proceeding. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court may appoint one for you. If you waive your right to an attorney, you may reassert it at any time. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses of the state. You may also present witnesses of your own and compel their attendance if necessary. You have the right to remain silent with the power to decline or refuse to make any verbal or written statement to the prosecution. You have the right to testify, but only if you choose to do so. I will read special considerations to non-citizens. I don't know if this applies to your situation. I read it to everyone. Conviction of a crime can adversely affect the immigration status of any individual who is not an American citizen. This applies to all convictions, including most traffic offenses. Receiving a diversion can constitute a conviction for immigration purposes. Adverse effects to your immigration status may be significant. These include the potential revocation of your immigration status and/or the ordering of your deportation. Because of the potentially severe consequences resulting from a conviction, you are entitled to an opportunity to discuss the potential impacts of a conviction with an immigration attorney. Wishing to discuss potential consequences of a conviction with an immigration attorney does not constitute an exercise of your right to counsel. You are not entitled to the appointment of an attorney solely to address potential immigration issues. Did you understand each of these items or rights as I read them to you?
No.
Is there anyone that you have a question over? Thank you. All right, you are here today on a 2-count complaint filed by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office. The first is no driver's license in violation of Kansas Statute 8-235. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Upon conviction, that's punishable by a fine of not more than $1,000. A possible jail sentence of not more than 6 months in the Kearny County Jail. Second charge is illegal display of tag or illegal registration. That's in violation of Kansas Statute 8-142. That's an unclassified non-person misdemeanor. punishable by a fine of not more than $500, and a possible jail sentence of not more than 30 days in the Kearny County Jail. Both of those are the maximum allowable and not necessarily what a person may be sentenced to. Do you understand each of the charges and the potential penalties? Thank you. You have options to representation today. You may hire an attorney of your choosing. If you choose this option, I will give you a future date to allow you to do so. You may request court-appointed counsel. If so, you must fill out an application and financial affidavit. You must meet certain financial requirements to qualify for court-appointed counsel. And if you are appointed counsel and are later convicted, you may have to reimburse some of the attorney's fees. And your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing. Waiving your right to an attorney gives you the option to speak directly to the prosecutor, Mr. Gallegos. To try to come to resolution on your own. Very well. First, is anyone making you or threatening you in any way to make you waive your right to an attorney? Is anyone promising you anything in return for waiving your right to an attorney? Finally, are you under the influence of any prescription medication, drugs, alcohol, or stressors that would make you unable to make good decisions today? Very well. Court finds you've knowingly and voluntarily waived your rights to an attorney. If you change your mind, you can always tell the court you want an attorney at a future time. Do you understand? Very well. Mr. Gallegos, I have a knowing and voluntary waiver. Do you wish to inquire? I will go off the record to allow you to confer. Okay. Deputy, when we are done with this case, would you
Connor,
Yes.
we're just gonna get another court date.
We are back on the record in Kearny County District Court Case 2023 TR 300,019, Baranya Nicholas Carranza, and we're looking for a new court date. Can we use that March 26th date? Set that at 9 as well, or do you need another time? Very well. Ma'am, the county attorney says you need a future date. I will set your second appearance for March 26th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Need to appear at that time unless your case resolves. It's your responsibility to know whether your case is resolved or not. Do you have any questions of the court? You need to write that date down? Okay, very well. Mr. Gallegos, anything further?
No, Your Honor, or actually, I just need to know.
Okay, if you'll grab it, if nothing further, we are adjourned. I will let you get her contact information as we go off the record.
Es su número de teléfono, en caso que.
I have a gentleman coming up from the jail that I will need you for, and we'll do after Ms. Wilson's case.
Ay, estamos bien.
Thank you. Ms. Wilson?
I don't have to go to Garden.
Okay, I think we're gonna make it anyway, so.
My niece was able to go and pick up my daughters.
Okay,
This, Your Honor?
all right, this is Kearny County District Court Case 2024 CR 30, State of Kansas versus Shelby D. Wilson. Thank you for waiting, Ms. Wilson. You have been present when I have read the statement of rights to and of defendants, probably more than once. Did you hear and understand each of those rights? Is there anyone that you didn't understand or you have a question over? Very well. You are here today on a 2-count complaint. The first count alleges driving with an expired registration in violation of Kansas statute 8-142. That is an unclassified non-person misdemeanor in the state of Kansas. Upon conviction, that is punishable by a fine of not more than $500 and a jail sentence in the Kearny County Jail of not more than 30 days. I say not more than, those are the maximums that could be assessed. They are not necessarily a normal fine or jail sentence for the conviction of this offense. That is usually based on a person's prior history. Your second offense is driving without headlights when needed in violation of Kansas statute 8-1703. That is a traffic infraction. A person convicted of a traffic infraction may be or shall be required to pay a fine and court costs. Do you understand each of the charges as I've read them? Do you understand the potential penalties? All right, and again, those are maximums. You probably heard this before, but you have options today regarding representation. If you wish to have an attorney and can hire your own, I will give you time to do that. If you wish to have an attorney and don't feel you can afford one, you may apply for a court-appointed counsel. That requires you to fill out an application and a financial affidavit. You must meet certain financial requirements to qualify for court-appointed counsel. If you receive court-appointed counsel and are ultimately convicted of anything related to this case, you may be required to pay back some or all of the attorney's fees. Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing. That gives you the opportunity to discuss your case directly with the prosecutor, Mr. Gallegos. This allows the two of you to try to come to some resolution. If you waive your right to an attorney, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you would like to be represented, and we will go over your options again. Do you understand? I'm sorry. How do you wish to proceed today regarding counsel?
Waive.
Is anyone threatening you to make you waive your right?
No.
Is anyone promising you anything in exchange for waiving your right to an attorney? Are you under the influence of any stressors, medication, or any other chemical substance that would make you unable to make good decisions today?
No.
Thank you. The court will find that you have knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to an attorney. Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire?
Yes.
We'll go off the record to allow you to speak to Ms. Wilson. Okay. Back on the record in 2024 TR 30, State of Kansas versus Shelby D. Wilson.
Your Honor, do I have a valid order that I'm-
Very well. The state has moved to dismiss the misdemeanor charge. That only leaves the infraction. And you probably understood by speaking with Mr. Gallegos and listening to him tell the court that is something you can deal with Kearny County District Court clerks. Do you understand, Ms. Wilson? Is that satisfactory to you today? Very well. If nothing further, we are adjourned as of this matter, and you can contact the clerk's office right outside that door regarding the other charge. That's what's the infraction. Thank you for your appearance. We are adjourned as to this matter. All right, this is an extradition waiver, Mr. Gallegos. Let me get him in my computer system. It's not assigned yet. It's a 2024 MR TBD is how I'm listing it. I won't have a number until we turn in paperwork. Correct. I think it may be two, but there might have been one sneaked in since last week, so don't hold me to that. This will be extradition from Dallas County, Texas. Defendant's name, Christopher Alejandro hyphen Flores. Correct. Going off the record for one moment to clarify some paperwork. Alejandro is the first name. Last name. Thank you. All right. Good morning, sir. This is Kearny County District Court on February 27, 2024. We are here for an extradition hearing on a warrant out of Dallas County, Texas. This is first appearance on this extradition notification. Sir, would you scoot forward so that the microphone can pick you up? Thank you, sir. All right. For the purpose of this record, I have your name as Christopher Alejandro Flores Rodriguez. Is that correct? Okay, that is you, sir. Thank you. I am going to advise you, first off, you are appearing in the custody of the Kearny County Sheriff. I am going to read you information from a warrant of arrest and detention. And then I will advise you of your rights pertaining to extradition. And this is from Kansas law that pertains to extradition. For your purposes, sir, extradition means the handing over from one state to another an individual to answer charges. I will read from the document. Warrant of arrest and detention. Dallas County, Texas. First-degree felony. GPD number 1101 007 88. Warrant number letter F 242 372 3. Statute of limitations date 6/4/21/22. That would be June 4 of 21/22. Case number 2023 R 023 833. I will now read the remainder of the document. In the name of the state, to any sheriff or other peace officer of the state of Texas. Greetings. You are hereby commanded to take the body of Christopher Alejandro Flores, white Hispanic male, date of birth 2/14/1996. Also known as February 14, 96. Hereinafter called the accused and him safely keep, so that he may be dealt with according to the law. And to hold the accused to answer to the state of Texas for an offense against the laws of the state, namely aggravated sexual assault of a child. This is Penal Code PC 22.021. The number, penal code number is PC 22.021. First degree felony. Numerals 119 900 04. of which offense he is accused by written complaint, made under oath, that has been presented to me, and that is by this reference incorporated herein for all purposes. Witness my signature this 11th day of January, 2024. Bond is set at $100,000. Signature of Natalie Banuelos. Judge, Municipal Court, City of Garland, Texas. Magistrate in and for Dallas County and Collin County. The remainder of the document has personal information, and a sheriff's return, showing that you were arrested by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office on February 22nd, 2024. Relating to this warrant from Texas. All right, I will read Kansas statute regarding extradition. I'm going to read from Kansas statute regarding extradition. Kansas statute 22-2710. Title: Rights of Accused Person. Application for writ of habeas corpus. Writ of habeas corpus. And then notice. I will paraphrase. When a person is arrested on an out-of-state warrant, he will not be delivered to that state until he has been taken before a judge of the court. In this state, who shall inform him of the demand made for his surrender and the crime for which he is charged. This court has notified you there is a warrant from Texas. This court has informed you of the alleged charge contained in that document. You have the right to test the legality of this arrest. And if you choose to do so, I will set a future date to give you time. This is to give you time to file a writ of habeas corpus. To verify the legality of these charges. And the validity of your identity as the accused. You also have the right to waive your right to a writ. And to return voluntarily to the state of Texas to answer this charge. Didn't what? Okay. That is between him and the state of Texas as to his guilt or innocence. The question this court is asking is, do you want to voluntarily return to Texas to defend yourself on this warrant? Or do you wish to remain in Kansas to fight extradition? That is his decision. Let me see if I can put this in a little clearer. If he refuses to waive extradition, then the state of Kansas will have the state of Texas take steps to verify he is the person named in this document. And that the alleged charge is a felony that they will extradite on. That does not dictate whether he is guilty or innocent of the charge. He has the right to waive extradition to voluntarily return to Texas to determine whether or not he is guilty of this charge. Do you understand the difference between the two? Okay.
Está sucediendo es de que hay orden de arresto en Texas para usted. Eso, por parte, obviamente regresar a Texas para pelear su caso. Eso, para pelear la extradición a Texas, pero normalmente la única razón es que estás diciendo de que otro Christopher Alejandro de Rodríguez eres Chris. Texas. Pero si quieres evitar estar en nuestro cárcel por otros para Texas, para empezar a pelear su caso allá, lo puedes hacer. Es su derecho para ya ir a Texas para empezar. Vas a salir.
¿Tiempo va a estar encerrado por decir ahí?
El gobernador de Kansas y de Texas pidiendo que
Porque me traiten para allá, la verdad.
no a un abogado. Quieres renunciar su derecho para irse ya a Texas.
De todas maneras, voy a estar preso, de todas maneras. ¿Qué voy a estar haciendo?
He is saying he wants to return to Texas too. Thank you. Is anyone forcing him to do so? Very well. And is any,
Que tengo familia y también me pueden ayudar a salir. Me pueden... Texas, me vine de Texas porque yo estaba trabajando y tuve... Bueno, me quería...
No diga nada aquí, todo está grabado y no quiero que usted diga cualquier cosa. Yo no soy su abogado. Doctor.
Si no puedo escribir, puedo poner.
Sir, I just presented you a waiver of extradition. Did you sign? Did you sign AA as your signature? Very well. The court will take judicial notice that the initials AA under signature of defendant were made by Christopher Alejandro Flores Rodriguez, also known as Christopher Alejandro Flores. For the purpose of waiving his right to extradition to the state of Texas. Very well. Do you have any questions of the court, sir? The court will set a date of 14 days from today's date for the state of Texas to come and get him. And the court will also note that this date can be extended for good cause per statute. Anything from the state, Mr. Gallegos? Thank you, Ms. Chavez. Thank you, Mr. And Alejandro Flores Rodriguez. If nothing further, we are adjourned as to this matter. All right, we are off the record. If you will wait a couple of seconds, I will let you take some documents down with you.
Oh, yeah, we do have two cases we have to. Questions are a little different only because I'll just do it just real quick. Have Homie, that's from all intoxicated, traveling. Bond that she posted was like 60. Come back out for it.
Yeah, I totally gave him the option. Okay, I had her on my docket and she's fallen off. We had Alexis Boehm or Boehm on my docket when I printed it, and she is not on my docket now. Did we get something in on her case? Do you know? 24 TR 22.
The next person is,
Right?
we have a number for her and we're gonna send out summons.
Okay.
Have an agreement. I just.
Oh, I just found. Okay, I'm back to the right one. So yes, I do have Miss Boehm, and you asked for 10,000 cash corporate. Very well. In 2024 TR 22, State of Kansas versus Alexis Boehm or Boehme, based on failure to appear on February 27, 2024. Bench warrant will issue $10,000 cash or corporate surety bond. And what day are we looking for Miss Dexter? 26 too soon?
Nope, I have that as the 26th.
Go. Till then. And then I had a second case, 28, for Gerardo Lopez Oviedo, but that's a duplicate, so I'll have to check that in ours.
That's why you asked him if he only was only here on one.
Right. So there's nothing in it. What do you have 2024 TR 28 in your system? I had him as like 26 and 28.
I actually have.
27.
I have it as 28.
I've got it as 27. That's one that we just dealt with, and I have, because I have no documents in 28, so.
It's actually 27, let me know, because we already.
Yeah, because. '28, I have no documents. I've got his 27 and 28. 27 had the documents, 28 listed. We're gonna have to fix that. I hope that'll be fairly easy to fix.
So with that, I'm gonna just.
Okay, and then Barry Steen at 1:30 and Brandon Russell